Hi, Dinara.
Hi, James.
So, welcome back. And now we're going to be preparing you for the EGE state exam.
No, this one is Kazakh state exam.
Oh, it's the Kazakh state exam. I see.
Yeah, and it's called national testing, I suppose. For a moment, unified national test. Yeah, it's called testing.
Okay. I see. Okay, perfect. And yeah, so this looks like it's a multiple choice question. So, and then there is something written in, is that Russian?
Russian.
Yeah, so I was just going to check. So there is something, so you have a question written in Russian and then you have to select the correct English answer. Okay?
So guys, this test in Kazakhstan, you can pass both in Russian and Kazakh. And so we chose Russian version. To be honest, I'm surprised that tasks are written in Russian, not in English. And if we compare this test with the Russian state exam, English in Kazakhstan is much easier. So we'll be very happy to help you with that. And if you need to improve your English much faster and you want to be guided, please write down and please subscribe to our social medias and write us. We'll be happy to help you. Sometimes you can even win 1 month of free classes at our school. All our classes are online and with native speakers from the UK and the USA. Okay, and the first task is we need to translate a proverb. I need to read it in Russian, sorry, James. Несет золото, что блестит. So золото means why? All that glitters is not gold.
Okay, that is the answer then. So all that glitters is not gold. So yes. What I can actually, so there is, all that glitters is not gold. I believe that actually comes from, I think that might come from Lord of the Rings, actually. That particular phrase in English. But B, the interesting one, handsome is that handsome does. Normally it's rendered as handsome is as handsome does. So handsome is as handsome does.
As there's a mistake, you mean?
Yeah, I think so. I've not heard handsome is that handsome does. I've heard handsome is as handsome does.
And I do not understand the meaning of this proverb.
So handsome is as handsome does. It's a little bit tricky. So it's basically character and behavior are more important than appearance. Is what it's
true. Yes, definitely. Older I become, more I'm attracted to people's character.
Yeah, exactly. So it's basically saying you should judge someone by their actions, not their appearance.
True. Very well.
So what they do is more important than what they are, you know. So.
And number 2, James, we need to find opposite meaning of the phrase in front of.
Well, that would be behind.
Okay. We need to choose the best word which fits.
Yeah. Has to be worse. Okay.
The situation.
Worse. See, the situation is worse than I thought. So we can't, because the than is the clue. You're comparing two things. Okay. So remember, we've got the two different types. We've got comparative adjectives versus superlative adjectives. And superlatives, you need to be comparing at least one of more than 3 things or more. Okay. Whereas with a comparative adjective, it's comparing 2 things or more.
Guys, we're very lucky that James helps us with this. He simplifies everything. So it's magic. And it's only thankfully to, not only because he is native, because James is so interested in linguistics. And he knows a lot of languages. You're fluent in German, right?
Yeah, German. So I can speak 2 varieties of German. And I can also speak French fairly fluently, Spanish reasonably. So I can have a good conversation in Spanish. And then I can have a conversation a bit more limited in Swahili, and then a very, very basic amount of Dutch. It's really easy if you speak English and German, so it's kind of cheating. So it's the easiest it's one of the easiest foreign languages for English native speakers to learn, if not the easiest. Dutch. So possibly Afrikaans or Frisian would be even easier, but Dutch is pretty easy, especially if you speak German as well. If you know both English and German, it's not difficult to learn Dutch.
Interesting. The next one is we need to find a correct answer for the word 50. I don't answer the task.
Yeah, so 15 and 35 added together would equal 50.
I see.
Okay, 60 and 10, well, if you take 10 off 60, it would be 50, but I'm assuming that they mean added together would be 15 and 35.
So the answer is D. And we need to, oh my God, it's written here, причастие. I don't remember what it is in English. I suppose it's gerund.
Okay, gerund, which would be swimming with 2 M's. So that's it. If it's the gerund, it's swimming with 2 M's.
Yes, and it's very important. And I would like to ask you, why do we write down here 2 M's? Could you please remind these to students?
I think it's to do with the vowel, basically. Because otherwise, if you have one, it tends to be, so for example, rhyming. So it's an I, it's a diphthong, I. So you do see this a few times, basically. So when you, so there are some differences as well. So we add ing to when doing this, we sometimes double the letter. So, so it's often when you have the consonant, then a vowel, then the consonant, then you might double the consonant. So it just happens with some of these. But there are some words where it doesn't happen, like so visiting, we don't do 2 T's there. But for example, stopping, referring, you would double it. Swimming is another one, as in, but then, for example, you get somewhere that there's a difference between British and American English, like traveling is a good example. We would double the L, the Americans wouldn't. But apparently it's we double the final letter when a 1-syllable verb ends in consonant, vowel, consonant. Okay, so stopping, stop, rob, sit, stopping, stopped, or both with double P, robbing, robbed, both with double B, and then sitting, with a double T. So consonant, then a vowel, then a consonant, then you double it if it's 1 syllable. When the final syllable is stressed and it's got 2 syllables, for example, or 3 syllables, then you would also double the final letter. So beginning, so that's got 2 N's, preferring, preferred. And if the final syllable is not stressed, we don't double the final letter. But there are 2 exceptions with British English, which is travel and cancel. So those are the 2 exceptions in British English. So, and you don't double the final letter when a word ends in 2 consonants or when 2 vowels come directly before it. So remaining, that AI, you wouldn't double it, and and you don't double a W or a Y. Okay, so it's a little bit complex, but that should give some more ideas. So when you have a single syllable verb and it ends consonant, then a vowel, then consonant, then you double it if the final syllable is stressed in the speech. Preferred, beginning, beginning. Yeah, so begin, prefer. So you can hear it stressed, the second syllable.
And why spelling is useful, guys, when we study it, doesn't matter it's your native language or foreign, it makes us more attentive, which is very important in general. It's a very important skill in our life. More attentive you are, better quality of your life is, and less you'll be tricked, in my opinion. So task number 6, there are words like achieve, assist, celebrate, and act, and we need to choose that. So which part of speech we say in English, right? Verb, noun. It is, and it is a verb, gлагол in Russian. It's E. The answer is E. And number 7, we need to find the best part, the best first part here.
Yeah. So I would go with there is only one lady and 5 gentlemen with an E. You need an E for the last one.
It's a mistake.
Because, so it's a gentleman with an A is 1. Gentleman with an E is more than 1. But there's no difference in pronunciation. So it's the same.
Interesting. Why? I would choose there are.
There are only one lady and 5 gentlemen in the restaurant. I think it's because, so this is a bit tricky. The reason why I went for that one, this is actually more going off intuition than anything else, is because it starts off with there is only one lady and 5 gentlemen. So there are 5 gentlemen and 1 lady. If it were reversed, I would probably go with there are. So that one's a bit strange, exactly. So you can also, there are some of them where you have to be careful, where something that is implied as a plural but written as singular, like none or no one or everyone. Okay, so these are examples where you always have to go for singular. Okay, so like none of them is coming. You don't, although plenty of native speakers say none of them are coming, but it is technically wrong. It's none of them is coming. So, as in everyone is invited or has been invited.
Very interesting. Yes. And we need to choose the correct form of to be going to.
I am going to. So I can only conjugate with am or was.
This one is very easy. So we need to choose the correct again.
Okay, so yeah, exactly. So can you visit your granny this weekend? No, I'm going to go to the cinema. You know, I mean, in that case, you could either go with have to or am going to. I think that am going to. I am going to is likely because it's a plan that's already been made. So am going to, but you know that it's not will because you cannot put to afterwards. You need to have the verb, the base verb on its own without the to.
We cannot say I will go to the cinema in this case?
You could say I will go to the cinema in this case, but the thing is that generally with will, we use it when we're making a decision now. So a good example of, or you're talking about possibilities for the future. A good example is, for example, if I say the sentences, I'm going to pick up pizza on the way home versus I will pick up pizza on the way home. Well, I'm going to pick up a pizza on the way home. That means you've already made the decision beforehand. Whereas I'll pick up pizza on the way home. That's, for example, if you're speaking with your boyfriend or girlfriend, or as in your or your flatmate, for example, or your parents, and you just tell them in a phone call, and you make the decision. Oh, I'll pick up pizza on the way home. That's when we use will, for example. But you can't say I will. I will to pick up pizza on the way home. You cannot say that. It has to be I'll or I will pick up. But to be going to, the going to future is when you've already made the decision. Okay?
I see. For example, I'm going to camping this weekend.
I'm going to go camping. Yeah.
I'm going to go to camping this weekend.
I'm going to go camping.
Oh my God, I'm going to go camping this weekend.
Exactly. This week. But the future is a bit of a nightmare in English. It really is. So it's quite, it's probably the worst of the three. Talking about the future in English is quite complex. So it's because, you know, as in you can use the present simple in the future in very limited cases. So for example, when you're talking about a timetable, the bus leaves at 7 o'clock. You know, I could also say the bus will leave at 7 o'clock. That's okay. But the bus leaves at 7 o'clock. You know, as in you can use the present continuous when it's a fixed plan. I'm seeing my sister on Saturday. So you know, it's a fixed arrangement. You obviously have the going to future. Then you have will and shall, used almost interchangeably, but there's slight differences. And then you also have some other ones like will, you know, so future continuous, so will be doing something. So I'll be listening to me. So when will you be arriving? It's just a little bit friendlier. I'll be staying in the area for the next few days. And then you've also got future perfect continuous. It gets, you know, so, and then even if you're talking about something that you had in mind to do before, but to do it in the future, you could even use the past continuous in the future sense. So, well, I was going to pick up pizza, but, you know, perhaps I think we should, let's just have a takeaway. Or, you know, so as in, so that is technically talking about the future, but it's a past intention for the future. So the future in English is a nightmare. So, because I didn't even touch the future perfect simple or the future perfect continuous, you know, those are very specific.
Yes, plus we can say, I would like to go to Japan.
Yeah, that's conditional. So that can also be meant in the future sense as well.
Cool. So, okay. We will definitely make videos about the future.
Yeah, exactly.
So to be able to study it with us, please subscribe to our channel and to our social media. And the next one is we need to read the text and then to choose the answer.
Okay, so Thomas Cook was born in 1809 and lived in Leicester in the centre of England. Thomas Cook was the first person who developed mass tourism. Many excursions and tours which opened up the worlds of travelling for pleasure to the middle classes were organised by him. Cook believed that travel would broaden the mind. His success of the travel business was phenomenal. The English Channel, France and Switzerland, Egypt were popular destinations for Cook's tours. Where did Cook live? So it says where he was born, which was Leicester, which is in the centre of England. So you've got to go with D, because not many people live in the English Channel. That's the sea. So as in, well, you know, so as in under the sea. Yeah, so we all live in a yellow submarine. That would be, yeah, well, that I suppose could be in the English Channel, but generally no. So
it's already here. Be careful, guys. There are some spelling mistakes in this test, which is okay, because obviously those tests, they are made by non-natives. I don't know why they do not pay some bit of money to check that.
Especially for a national exam, you know. So it's you know, so it's you know, so it is sort of major. What is not included in World Heritage Sites of Australia?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Well, I know, you know, Stonehenge, because it's not in Australia. So
it's in England.
Would be, yeah, it's in England. It's the giant stone circle in the south of England. So I only know that because you know, this is a classic example of process of elimination. If you know one thing isn't in Australia and you know where it is, then, you know, you can say that.
And you need to be very careful to understand the question, because it's deliberately written here what is not included.
Exactly.
You can be nervous and read only is and choose Sydney Opera House. I would do that. Okay, so not to be nervous at any exams. There is only one remedy, guys. Prepare.
Yes, exactly.
So do not waste your time on Instagram.
Exactly. But unless it's Instagram profiles that are dedicated to language learning, then it could be useful. So, but yes, exactly that. That's good advice. So this next one, well, so you know from the position that it has to be an object pronoun. Okay, the first, you know. So, and then the second one has to be a possessive pronoun because it's to party. So the only one that seems to that fits in that case is C. I will invite him to our party. Because, for example, him doesn't work because it would be I will invite you to his party. It's also a bit weird, you know, so you don't invite people to other people's. So, you know, yes, and I'm sure he'll be fine with that. Yeah, so I will invite you to her party. Again, well, you know, so the her bit is fine. He doesn't work. And then us, I will invite us to you party. You doesn't work. And then I will invite we to mine party. Neither of those work. Exactly.
Okay. And this type of tasks, they develop your analytical skills because you analyze, yeah? Okay. And then from little, we need to... So the second, we have little and then like smaller. How to say little? Small, smaller, and here?
That's small, smaller, smallest. So that's comparative is adjective is smaller, and the superlative, which is smallest.
And here for little we say
more little
usually.
So when I was littler, I mean, you might hear some people say littler, but more little is more correct.
Why can't we say less here?
Well, you could say, less would work, actually. So it depends on the context of the question, basically. So less means fewer of something, whereas more little, or, well, actually, is it more little or littler? I'm trying to think. They're both correct. So I would go with less.
Because it's more common, right?
Yes, I would say that, yeah. Actually.
Okay. We need to choose the word in which A is written in different way.
Is written in...
is read in different way. Is pronounced.
Okay, I see. All talk, walk. Calm.
Calm.
That's an R instead of all.
Okay. Yes, and with pronunciation, guys. So guys, to improve your pronunciation, you need to listen to a lot. Obviously, what you enjoy most. I don't know. For example, you have favorite series or film, or I don't know, some kind of YouTube videos. Interesting topic for you. And the last one, let's divide this test for 2 parts, James.
Yeah, exactly. It's 2 parts. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay.
We need to complete the sentence.
Okay, so I think that what they're trying to do here is indirect speech, reported speech, basically. So remember, with reported speech, the easiest trick you can do is basically go back 1 tense is the easiest way to do it, okay? So when somebody says something in the present tense, then you go into the past simple. So if they say it in the present continuous, you go into the past continuous, etc. So you go back 1 tense. So here, Anne said that she liked dancing.
Because obviously she's alive, and she says that I like dancing.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the simple, she said it in the present tense, I like dancing. So when we're reporting what she said, we have to go with liked. So, because, for example, is going to dance, no, you would have to say and said that she was going to dance. She was going to dance. Or fond of dancing would be fine, but you need to say was fond of dancing and said that she was fond of dancing. And when you've got will, that she would go dancing. So that's where we move to would. Okay, exactly.
Yeah, this topic, even I forgot. I remember this studying at school. James, thank you.
You're welcome.
We will, guys, complete the second part of this test in our next video. See you in our next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.